Hello, my name is Malcolm Morales. I'm here to do my mock interview. One of my first questions, I have it up here ready for me to go. Give me an example of a difficult decision that you've made. Well, I work in an automotive business. Me and my dad, we own it. There's been a lot of difficult decisions that we've had to make. One of them was about a credit card service that was really terrible. This lady comes in and she says that she can really help us with our credit card, the charge that they take from the credit card machine. Ours was like 5 point something. It was kind of a really high amount. Theirs was like 0.5%, and just an astonishingly obvious choice. Like, we should totally go with them because it would be that much easier. What we didn't know is after a while, they started having these fees, they started having these obligations, they started having us do a lot of extra work that just wasn't working. It just was not worth it. And at the end, we actually did a calculation. We ended up not making any more money from that. So when I looked into what it would take to cancel that contract, which was with the actual loaning credit company, and a third party lending company that dealt with the credit card service machine, I was able to get out of any contact with the credit lender themselves, but the lease or the lien on the machine that we had owned, quote unquote owned, to use that credit card had like some $2,000 or something like that we were going to have to pay out. My dad, being someone who doesn't really like to pay things out immediately, initially said this was a very bad idea. Let's not do this. But I know, and it says in the contract that after like 2 or 3 years of this lease, that they can raise it based on inflation, based on taxes, based on whatever. So I decided, we sat down and I convinced my dad to go along with this. But initially I had to make the decision that we needed to pay this off. We needed to get out of this contract and go back to our original credit card machine user so that we could make that profit back. It was a $2,000 immediate just gut to our business, which was at the time very detrimental, but we needed to do it. I have a buddy of mine who also, like we talked, he's a business owner as well. He's also had this issue. He's had that same woman come up to him and convince him of that same contract. He decided to not buy out the contract, to continue with it. He said that at this point, the rates have doubled. They've gone from 37 monthly payments, like $37 monthly payments, to about 65. They've almost doubled. So sometimes making tough and difficult decisions are very important to make. Incredibly important. Sorry that one was so long, but that one was a very, very good one. Another question was, what are your long-range career goals? What are you doing to achieve them? My long-term career goal is to be a world creator, a designer of some kind in augmented or virtual reality, to primarily help with people with like disabilities, getting rehabilitated, whatever. Even just being able to hang out and have a blast. The way I want to try and do this is to start getting into more VR-related companies, to start looking for more VR and augmented reality jobs. Like Pokemon Go is a really good example of this. I would like to be a part of that and part of games that utilize that kind of augmented reality idea. And so I'm looking into more research about that. I'm looking into doing more technical training on those kinds of fields. And then I'm also trying to make sure I make a couple of projects with a VR system and see how they work and learn how that all works. Tell me about a conflict you faced at work and how you handled it. Well, my father and I, we bicker all the time. You know how they say don't work with family? Yeah, don't work with family. But initially, you just got to be able to work with your family and actually convince them of certain things. So there was a long time ago where my dad, we like to have a credit, if you will, to O'Reilly Parts and to Auto Parts, O'Reilly Auto Parts and Auto Parts, AutoZone. My bad. That is not a bad idea, but initially it's not a good idea because my dad will like to limit that credit all the way up to 2K and then start paying it off little by little by little. And then like, as I need a part, I'm going to give him $100. As I need that part, I'm going to give him 100. No, 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 no. You want to work from the other way around. You want to work with the 2K open and then pay it off every week like you're supposed to. That didn't work out as well. And I have to make those executive decisions to say, hey, look, no more. No more. What are my greatest strengths? So one of my greatest strengths is my awareness and understanding, as I just described as those two examples before. Sometimes you just got to understand that, like, there's been situations where I've had to make difficult decisions like that. There's also situations where I need to just let them go on. And, you know, like my dad, sometimes he just doesn't learn from me saying something. So I let him make that mistake. And then we come back from that mistake. So when it comes to those kinds of things, it's about being able to read and understand the room around you and your surroundings. My greatest strength is adaptability. My greatest strength is to learn how to deal with whoever I'm dealing with, whatever I'm dealing with, however I'm dealing with it, the way that you want it to be dealt with. I can get that done. That is my strength. One of my weaknesses, however, is I'm still a junior designer. I still don't know every little tiny thing there is to know about every little tiny thing. So there are going to be times where I may take longer than you would think for me because I'm trying to learn how to do a certain step, or maybe I'm trying to learn it in a more efficient way. Rest assured though, when I do those things, I do that with the understanding that I will never have to do that again, that I will learn from that mistake and that I will sustain that knowledge. To try and quickly wrap this up, the questions that I would ask, I really don't know initially what I would ask, so I looked these up, but these are very good questions that I definitely will be asking now, is asking them about, can you tell me about the day-to-day responsibilities that I'm handling? Like, what exactly am I going to be doing? What should I be prepared to be doing about? Like, how can I better prepare myself to help be a better worker for you guys? Another good question to ask, because there's a lot of bad questions to ask, are there opportunities for training and progression within the company or the business or whatever? Are there ways for you that like will help me train myself to become a better person for you? But most importantly, what I'm trying to say is, are there ways that I can better train myself to prepare for the job at the hand? While I'm in there, are there ways that I could better prepare to educate myself even further? And then I also would love to ask them what they enjoy about the job. What is your favorite part about the job? What do you like about the job? Because that tells me a whole bunch. That tells me what the personality atmosphere is for that job in general. It tells me what you like about that job. It tells me what your focus is about. It tells me so much if I just ask the person, what do you like about the job? Sorry for the length. I'm trying to wrap this up as quickly as possible. If there's anything else that I missed or anything, I'm sorry, but I think that this was a great way for me to do a mock interview and kind of figure out a couple of quick things that would be, I did every single question just to be sure, and because those are probably going to be asked of me. So I hope you appreciated it. If I need to do something else, let me know. Have a good day, and I hope I get hired by you.